If our next guest is correct, you'll soon be able to invest directly in the next wave as the IPO market finally picks up. Jeff Richards is managing partner at Notable Capital with me here at One Market. Had to talk to you when we're out here. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Welcome.
Do you have high hopes for what our viewers are hopefully going to be able to invest in the months ahead?
We certainly hope so. I mean, if you just look at the last 20 IPOs from some data I shared with your team, the average IPO is up over 50%, and you've got some stellar outperformers that are up over 100%. You've got companies like ServiceTitan that went public in December, traded up over 40, 50%. It's held up well. Today's the lockup. We'll see how it does after that. It's always a big test for new IPOs. Mm-hmm. And then recently you had 2 or 3 that were below $5 billion in market cap, which has kind of been a barrier that the bankers didn't really want to cross. And so a lot of appetite. They've done well, and hopefully a good sign of things to come.
Which are the ones that we need to keep our eye on in the next handful or 2 of months?
Well, we don't have access to the confidential filings of folks that are on file, but rumored Figma is a big one.
Obviously, everybody talks about the same names.
Yeah, Adobe tried to buy Figma years ago. I think the thing that a lot of folks are really waiting for is this next generation of AI companies. Could we see Perplexity or OpenAI or a name like Anduril or SpaceX or even Starlink spin out of SpaceX? Those are some of the creative ideas you hear people get excited about, because there is the class of unicorns from 21, 22 that are probably going to file and come out. Mm-hmm. A lot of those are sort of pre-LLM, pre-GPT companies, and what people are really hungry for is give me the newer names. And so until then, what they're doing is they're betting on public names like Snowflake, Cloudflare, CrowdStrike, the names you guys talk about every day.
Sure.
Great names, great bets on AI, and many of them are up 50, 60%, which I think is a reflection of the interest you'll see in these private companies when they come out as well.
I mean, the landscape has changed so much, as you know better than most. The kinds of companies that we just named, the ChatGPT and OpenAI or Perplexity, Waymo, Databricks, whatever, back in the day, they'd be public already.
Right.
Now all these companies are staying private for longer, so if you don't have access to investing in the private markets, you don't have a run at what the next wave might be, but that could be changing too.
It's a really interesting dynamic. If you look back at 1996, we had 7,000 public companies. Today we have 4,000. So the GDP and the economy have grown, 10, 15x in that time window.
Yeah.
And yet more of the market is concentrated in private assets. So who's winning, who's benefiting from that? Obviously, our industry, venture capital. We see a lot of opportunity here with AI. We've had a challenge with liquidity over the last few years. Hopefully, we're starting to see some of that thaw out with rising IPO and M&A activity. But the private equity firms. So one way for your viewers to play this is to bet on some of the private equity names, TPG, Ares, Blue Owl, Blackstone, KKR. Those folks are lending capital to some of these companies, and they're also investing in things like power and data centers, which are going to be super critical to AI. So another way to maybe play it while most of these companies still stay private.
Yeah, I mean, it's the funding substitution. You don't need to go to the public market anymore. Private equity will fund you, and then investors are having more access to alternatives as private equity and everything else. Lastly, what's exciting to you? Like, what part of AI is going to be the next wave of excitement in your mind as a venture guy who sees people come through and pitch stuff all the time? I feel like we are moving from generative AI to more agentic AI. Maybe it's overhyped today, but won't be tomorrow.
The obvious ones are things like self-driving, autonomous, robotics, the things we hear people talk about every day, and the rise of things like ChatGPT. I would go into maybe 2 areas that people don't talk much about. One is small business. So you and I have chatted about this. 50% of our economy is small business, 55% of employment. Small businesses are going to benefit in a big way from AI, automating basic tasks like scheduling, billing, collections, all these basic things that people who own local storefronts do. And then another one is vertical AI. So you've heard Mark Benioff talk a little bit about this, but these companies that sell software and artificial intelligence into categories like the legal category, the healthcare category, industrial and manufacturing, every single category is going to have a version of AI that is sort of purpose-built for it. A lot of it with the same infrastructure, but purpose-built for that vertical, and then creating a ton of value inside the vertical. So that's an exciting area.
An environment.